The modern data stack in 2026. What to learn, what to skip, if you want a real data career. If you're in data right now, data engineering, analytics engineering, BI, data science, or even leading a data team, there's a career trap that quietly wastes months. You can work hard, learn tools, build projects, publish content, and still feel stuck because you learned the wrong things in the wrong order. And in 2026, it's worse, because the modern data stack is louder, more crowded, and full of hype. So, in this video, I'm going to give you a clean answer to one question. If you want to be valuable in the data field in 2026, what should you learn, what should you skip, and what skill set actually translates into opportunities and higher pay? I'm not here to sell you a tool. I'm here to help you build a stack in your head that makes you effective in any company, even when tools change. First, reality check. There isn't one modern data stack. There are layers and decisions, and the correct choices depend on company size, budget, compliance, and maturity. People argue about Snowflake versus Databricks, dbt versus just SQL, batch versus streaming, because they pretend there's one universal winner. There isn't. What matters is whether you can take messy real-world data and reliably produce trusted outputs on time at an acceptable cost, with governance and security that won't get the company in trouble. The most valuable people in data are the ones who can connect business outcomes to technical decisions, explain trade-offs clearly, and build systems that don't collapse when reality hits. So let's start with what to learn that never expires. Number one is SQL, and I'm not talking about basic select queries. In 2026, SQL is still the language of money. The more you can do with SQL correctly and efficiently, the more valuable you become. But you need real SQL, window logic, incremental patterns, deduplication, late arriving data, and the ability to read a query and predict why it will be expensive. Companies don't pay you for clean toy datasets. They pay you to survive chaos. Right behind SQL is data modeling. Not theory for theory's sake modeling that makes data usable and stable. You need to understand grain, keys, uniqueness, and how to design tables, so downstream, users don't invent their own definitions. If two dashboards disagree, trust dies. If definitions drift, the business stops believing data. In 2026, the teams that win are the teams with consistent definitions and models people can rely on. Next, software engineering fundamentals. You don't need to become a hardcore computer scientist, but you do need professional habits. Git, pull requests, code review, modular structure, readable naming, and documentation that's actually useful. Modern data is software. Pipelines are software. Transformations are software. If you don't treat them that way, you'll build a fragile system that breaks the moment business requirements change. In 2026, the baseline expectation in data roles is that you can build and maintain, not just get it working once. Then comes orchestration and reliability. Every serious data team has jobs that run on schedules, handle failure, recover, backfill, and alert when something breaks. Whether it's Airflow, Dagster, Prefect, or a managed orchestrator, the tool matters less than the mindset. Dependencies, idempotency, retrees, backfills, SLAs, and observability. This is where junior projects often fail. They look good on day one and fall apart on day three. In the real world, APIs fail, schemas change, and data arrives late. Your job is to build systems that don't panic. Now let's connect those durable skills to the stack choices companies actually make in 2026. Most stacks have a compute layer that queries and transforms data, usually sitting on cloud storage. For many companies, that's a warehouse. For others, it's lakehouse-style systems. And many are hybrid, whether they admit it or not. So what should you learn? Learn the concepts behind both: columnar storage, separation of storage and compute, partitioning and clustering, caching, concurrency, and cost behavior. This is high-leverage knowledge because if you can improve performance and reduce cost, you gain instant credibility. Cost control is not boring. Cost control is leadership. In 2026, governance and security also matter more than ever. Data teams aren't just builders, they're stewards. Companies care about access control, PII, compliance, auditability, and lineage. So learn the basics of role-based access, masking, row-level security, and how to design fast but safe. If your system can't survive a security review, it doesn't matter how clever your transformations are. Now ingestion. The world is full of connectors and pipelines pulling data from SaaS, databases, events, files, and APIs. Some teams use managed ingestion tools, some build custom, most do a mix. What should you learn? Learn why ingestion breaks. Learn full refresh versus incremental loads. Learn the idea of change data capture. Learn how to handle duplicates and late records. Learn how to design ingestion so it can be replayed safely. Tools change. Ingestion pain stays forever. If you become great at solving real ingestion problems, rate limits, partial failures, schema drift, you become valuable fast. Then transformation. This is where modern stacks become useful. In 2026, transformations are still best managed like code, tests, documentation, lineage, and controlled deployments. Whether you use DBT or another approach, the skill is the same. Build maintainable logic that other people can understand, that doesn't break everything downstream, and that can ship changes safely. If your transformations are a mystery that only you can debug, your system is fragile. Now, one of the biggest career accelerators in 2026, metric consistency and the semantic layer concept. Almost every organization suffers from metrics chaos. Two teams calculate the same metric differently, and leadership loses trust. The fix isn't another dashboard. The fix is consistent definitions stored in a governed way that's easy to reuse. Whether that lives in transformation models, the BI layer, or a semantic approach, the skill is being able to define metrics clearly and enforce consistency without slowing teams down. If you can fix metrics trust, you stop being just a data person and become someone who changes decision-making. Now let's talk about AI, because everyone talks about AI. Here's what to learn and what to ignore. Learn how AI changes workflows, not just the buzzwords. Use AI to speed up development responsibly, generate boilerplate, create tests, draft documentation, explore data faster. Learn how data quality impacts analytics and ML outcomes. If you work close to ML systems, learn basic concepts of feature pipelines and monitoring. But skip the hype that pretends tools replace fundamentals. They don't. The winners in 2026 are the people who combine fundamentals with automation and still understand what's happening under the hood. Now, what should you skip? First, skip tool collecting as a hobby. If your plan is learn one new tool every week, you'll stay shallow and always feel behind. Companies don't hire you for a list of tools. They hire you to solve their problems reliably. Instead, pick one common stack and go deep enough that you can design it, build it, debug it, and operate it. Depth first, then breadth. Second, skip overengineering early. New engineers and new creators often try to build streaming real-time everything, complicated governance, and a future-proof platform for a small problem. Then, nothing ships. Real maturity is earned. Start with the simplest architecture that meets requirements, then evolve it. Complexity is not sophistication unless it's justified by clear constraints. Third, skip endless dashboards built on shaky foundations. Dashboards are the final layer. If the models underneath aren't stable and definitions aren't consistent, you're building pretty lies. If you want to be respected, focus on foundations: clean models, consistent definitions, quality checks, and ownership. Then dashboards become easy. Fourth, skip the belief that certifications equal competence. Certifications can help you pass filters, but they don't replace the ability to ship and operate systems. If you can build an end-to-end mini-platform ingestion, transformation, testing, orchestration, monitoring, and explain trade-offs clearly, that proof usually beats badges. Now let's turn this into an order of learning, because sequence is everything. If you're starting or rebuilding in 2026, Get strong at SQL and modeling. Learn professional engineering habits like Git and clean structure. Learn reliability, orchestration, backfills, alerting, and monitoring. Learn cost behavior and governance basics. Then layer in advanced topics like streaming and deeper platform architecture when you actually need them. If you do it in this order, your skills compound. If you do it backwards, you collect knowledge that doesn't stick. Here's the mindset shift that ties the modern data stack together. Your job is not to build pipelines. Your job is to deliver reliable decisions. Pipelines are just machinery. The stack exists to produce outcomes: lower cost, faster insight, less risk, more trust, better products. So when you learn something, ask, does this help me ship reliable value, reduce risk, reduce cost, or increase clarity? If not, it might be interesting, but it's not core. And if you want this to translate into results, don't stop at understanding, convert it into one clean project or one content series. Build a simple end-to-end pipeline that handles messy data, shows incremental loading, enforces quality checks, and produces curated models with consistent metrics. Then explain your trade-offs: why batch or streaming, how you control cost, how you avoid breaking changes, how you monitor and respond when things fail. That ability to build, explain, and defend trade-offs is what makes you senior. So let me land it. In 2026, you can build a strong data brand and a strong data career without being everywhere and knowing everything. Focus on fundamentals that never expire, understand the stack concepts that drive real systems, skip shallow tool collecting and unnecessary complexity, and build one reliable end-to-end capability you can explain. That is the modern data stack in 2026. If you want more videos that are practical, honest, and built for data professionals, subscribe to Data Superiority, because the goal here is simple: help you turn data chaos into trust, speed, and real results.